Welcome to the Get Your Mind Right podcast. Every day, I want to be the first voice inside of your head, the first voice that motivates you to move. I put out these powerful segments every single day because I know the truth. The truth is that when you change your mind, you change your life. So let me, Ryan Stewman, the hardcore closer, get your mind right. One of the biggest things that keeps people from reaching their peak potential is the belief in themselves to do so. You see, we grew up poor. We grew up in the struggle. We grew up with parents who weren't entrepreneurs. We grew up, most of us anyway, we grew up with parents who weren't rich. We grew up with parents who couldn't afford to send us to college. So we're told to go perform in sports. But here's the thing, sports make you competitive. Sports get you in great shape, but sports don't prepare you for the real world. Never have I been on a job interview or never have I interviewed somebody for a job and I was like, oh, you played sports? Awesome. You got the job. Never have I been in a interview situation and somebody has mentioned that they were captain of the spelling bee team and I've been like, oh, you got the job. You see, the belief that you deserve that job, the belief that you can be the best at that job, the belief that you can be the best at what you do, the belief that you can help other people, the confidence that you have in yourself to be able to take people to the level that you want to or be able to take yourself to the level you want to. That's what's missing from most people. You see, we grow up with insecurities because the first time we say, I'm going to become an entrepreneur, people go, oh, shit, good luck with that. I tried that once and I failed at it, because that's what average fucking people do. They fail at things and they quit. You see, above average people, they fail at things, they learn a lesson and they grow. But the next thing that happens is you say, oh, I'm going to go get a job in sales and where there's a glass ceiling that you can break through and the income potential is absolutely unlimited. And then guess what happens? Somebody goes, oh, I tried sales once. Sales is it's a tough racket, you know. It's not for me, Mortimer. And then you're like, shit, you start to get down on yourself. You start to lose belief. You start to lose your confidence because someone has broken your spirit. First of all, fuck those people. They're quitters and losers and they're crabs in a bucket. Crabs in a bucket. When one of the crabs is about to escape, the crabs will stick their claws up and pull that crab back down with the rest of them because they don't want them to get the freedom. And that's what most people are. They say, oh, I couldn't do it, which the average motherfucker can't do shit anyway. And they say, oh, I can't do it, so you probably can't do it either. But the difference is you're listening to something like this. The difference is you're investing in yourself in programs like Break Free Academy, Entourage, Push to Excellence, or whatever coaching program you're in, or even whatever book that you're reading, whatever seminar you're attending. The difference is you're pushing the limits of mediocrity. You're breaking through the force of average, and you're trying to do things that the people in your circle have never done in their life, but yet for some goddamn reason you decide to listen to them when they tell you it's impossible. And maybe consciously you're not listening to them. You're like, well, I'm nothing like this person, but subconsciously our shit absorbs shit that we wish that we wouldn't have had that shit absorbed in the first place. And we can't help it. Because I've said this in previous episodes, we have 20 to 40 neurons firing on our frontal lobe, the conscious part of the brain, every second. We have 20 to 40 million firing subconsciously. So when somebody says something that instills doubt in us, when someone tries to rob our confidence, when someone tries to downgrade us, downplay us, degrade us, and try to keep us from chasing our dreams because they weren't brave enough to continue chasing their dreams and they quit like a little bitch, we start to let that insecurity from them bleed over on us. And you know what happens? Is we start thinking they're right. The second I told my parents that I was going to go out, start my own business and become a millionaire, they were like, yeah, right, son. Here's what I know about millionaires. Most of them make $1 million a year, but then they end up losing all of their money. Or maybe they make $1 million a year, but they only end up keeping 10,000 because taxes and overhead and employees and payroll taxes and all this shit that those motherfuckers didn't even know nothing about in the first damn place to be giving me any advice. Now I make more in a week than they ever make in an entire year. Now I make more in a year than they'll ever make in an entire lifetime. And I don't say that to degrade my parents. I'm saying that because they were giving giving me advice on some shit that they had no motherfucking clue about. And most of the people in your life that try to bring your crab, that try to bring you down, they don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about either. But I believe in you. You know why I believe in you? Because I know that if you're filling your head with this message right now, you want something more than the average person out there. I know that if you're listening to this message right now and you're trying to get this positivity in your brain, you believe in yourself to break through the sides into areas of your life that nobody else has. So the next time somebody has the audacity to tell you not to chase their dream, you ask them why the fuck they keep running from theirs. Because that's what's going on in their life. If they're going to try to degrade you and downplay you, you just spin it right back on them. While I'm chasing my dreams, sir, you're running from yours, and I choose not to be a coward. I choose to be Braveheart. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I might got a little fired up there for a second, but the limitation that you have on yourself has been placed there by people in your past. The limitations and the lack of belief that we can be successful is because other people around us, once they see that we're successful and they're not successful, what happens is it makes them have to come up with excuses to keep you from being successful, because if you make it and they don't, what's that say about them? So don't let anybody, and I mean fucking anybody, ever tell you not to chase after your passion. Don't let anybody tell you not to listen to the voice in the back of your head. And don't you ever let anybody tell you to quit and go back and become a victim of the force of average, because that's what losers do. And you're not a loser. You play to win. And what winners do is when they lose, they grow. It's that simple. If you enjoyed this message, make sure you share this podcast with somebody who needs to hear it. If you want to surround yourself with winners, you're trying to get away from them same old crabs, go to bfaentourage.com. Get signed up for our group. Surround yourself with my mastermind of millionaires, lawyers, doctors, billion-dollar producers in the mortgage industry, billion-dollar brokers, people that are making massive moves, and people that will give you advice to keep going instead of telling you to stop chasing your dreams. And again, that's bfaentourage.com, and we'll catch you on the next episode.